This is the book of Amos 9:9, and it reads, "For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in the sieve. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth." First and foremost, before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises that is due to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Harakakadash. We'll say next double honors to the elder bishops, elder apostles, and the men on down at GMS that do rule well. Shalom to you, beloved Akim, and shalom to you, few sincere sisters. Okay, this is the book of Amos 9:9. One more time, and it reads, "For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in the sieve. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth." Okay, so there you go, guys. The house of Israel. Okay, Jacob is being sifted. Okay, we were sifted among the nations, as we know. We're also being spiritually sifted as well. Okay, people coming up against the truth, people bucking up against it, scoffing at it, mocking at it, and just all these things. Okay, but you know what? The good thing about it, the word of the Lord is getting out there. It's getting out there on just all over the earth. It's getting out there. Celebrities is talking about it. Obviously, we got Thruski doing skits on the men of the Lord, mocking certain sects of the men of the Lord, okay, whether it be on the left or the right, okay, it's getting out there, okay, so there will be no excuse when the Lord really started bringing down judgment, because nobody can do nothing to the truth before it. So with Thruski doing what he did, all he really did was just bring more publicity to the truth, because somebody may see that, he has a huge following, somebody may see it, and somebody may be intrigued to start looking into the truth, So nobody can do anything to the truth before it, okay? But the house of Israel is definitely being sifted, okay? We've seen a lot of Eves. Now, since I've been in the truth, there's always been a lot of Eves that's been really coming up and mocking Salakia, bucking up against the men of the Lord, okay? Coming up against the men of the Lord, and just, showcasing how much of an enemy Eve really is to the Israelite man, Now we all know Eve has been, tag teaming with Esau, Edom for just, decades at this point. But it's just more obvious than ever before why the judgment for Eve is written, okay? Because it's just she's literally hand in hand with the serpent, She is a serpent to a degree at this point, okay? And we're not talking about you few sincere sisters. We know there is an elect lady, but it's you guys are far and few in between, okay? But I don't want to over expound, okay? They bringing in a lot of, even for some Eve who so-called is in the truth, they're still in a feminist mindset. They're still drunken off the Babylonian juice, and they still drunken off the philosophies and ideologies, even still being quote unquote in the truth, So this is gonna sift you guys out, okay? Because the scriptures hold you guys accountable, okay? Eve don't like to take accountability to save her life, okay? Eve would rather die than to serve and submit to her husband and be a helpmeet to her husband, as the scriptures command her to do. Why? Because Esau, Edom, has given her all the liberty and all the power and have exalted her up over the man. So that's hard for Eve to let go. That's hard for Eve to let go. Okay, it's just too much Babylonian juice that she's drunken off of. Okay, and we already know, as it is written, 2/3 of Israel will be cut off and die here in Babylon the Great, and by default, a lot of it is going to be Eve. Now we know it's going to be men in there too, but since women outnumber the men, then obviously a lot of Eve is going to be taking a huge part in that number. Let's keep going. Okay, let me go here. Okay, so the sifting is here. The sifting is happening. People coming into the truth, people falling out of it. Okay, now let me go here. This is the book of Romans, chapter 12:2, and it reads, "And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable, perfect will of the Most High." So if you're coming into the truth with worldly wisdom, not to say that there's not some truth in the world, but it's only one 144% truth, and that's the scriptures, man. It's just that simple. So you can't come in the truth still drunken off the Babylonian juices. You can't come in the truth still drunken off the Babylonian wine, and you can't intertwine that in with the truth unless it's with facts that perfectly line up with the scriptures. Anything other than that, listen, you have to completely do away with that. And me and the brothers was I was watching the beloved brother Yermayan video. He when I snuck off to do my sidebar lesson as they were trying to edify somebody that they were trying to build with somebody who walked up and was asking questions, and he just couldn't get it. He was getting it, but he had so much worldly wisdom, which is foolishness, onto the Lord, and he was trying to. It was hard for him to accept the truth. I ain't gonna say accept it. It was hard for him to digest the truth because of all of the wine he's been drunken off of. And this is just, when you come into this truth, you have to completely do away with all the lies that Esau Edom has taught you, man. It's just that simple, okay? And that is extremely hard for Eve to do, okay? And even some men, okay? As we can see. Now, let me go here and get this, okay? So you have to completely do away with all the worldly wisdom unless it aligns with the word of the Lord, okay? Let me go here and get this, all right? And the only way you can learn it is only way you can get it is by the men of the Lord, man, okay? Because the Lord set up his men. He's been doing it since the beginning, and he's still doing it now, okay? So everybody who's talking about you can't learn it from no man. You got to read the scriptures for yourself. Let's see how well that work out for you, okay? The Lord been setting up his men since the beginning. When the Messiah was on the scene, did he not have 12 disciples? Was there not prophets? That was all men? You have to get it from the men of the Lord, period, point blank. So anybody talking all that, I don't learn from no man, I learn from myself, well then that's why you bugged out now. Now, this is the book of Jeremiah 3 and 15, and the reason I will give you pastors according to my hearts, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. There you go, man. The Lord will set up his men, okay, on the highways and hedges and on the internet, okay, to give you understanding according to his heart, to his mind, okay? You know what I mean? And give you understanding of what the scriptures are saying, okay? Because if you come in, again, with the worldly knowledge, listen, you have to do away with that. You have to unlearn all the lies in order to fully digest the truth, man. You have to renew your mind, as we just read in Amos. Now, let's go ahead and get some more. Salaki. Let me get this. What do I want? I don't want to write this out. This lesson be edifying to the hopeful elect. Okay. Let's see what I got. Here it is. It's the book of 1 Corinthians 3:19, and it reads, "For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. For it is written, He taketh the wise in their own craftiness." So there you go, man. So the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High, man. So all of that stuff that you have learned up until the point of coming into the truth is, it's foolishness unto the Lord, man. So all that worldly wisdom, your degrees, your college education, all that stuff is foolishness, okay, in the sight of the Lord, man. You have to do away with all that, okay? You have to do away with all of it. Not saying that it's not some truth in some stuff, but it's all foolishness unto the Lord. And again, unless it aligns with the Heavenly Father's word in the scriptures, then you got to do away with that. You have to do away with it, okay? Because it's just null and void. There's nothing that's going to really benefit you as far as this truth is concerned, man. It's just that simple, you know? And again, a lot of Eve just can't seem to get that and digest that. But we know, according to the book of Job, she was deprived of wisdom and of understanding, okay? And by her being so drunken off the Babylonian juice, the feminist movements, this women's liberation, and all of these philosophies and ideologies that Esau Edom has poisoned her brain and brainwashed her with, it's going to cause for a lot of Eve to just get, thrust through with the sword, and that's all it's going to do. Now, this is the book of Daniel 12:2, and it reads, "And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt." There you go, man. So a lot A lot, and so a lot of people who do wake up to the fact that they're an Israelite. You know, some of them we just read it. Some of them will be to shame and everlasting to contempt. You know, and that you know that's another again, Salakia. That is a part of the sifting process. A lot of people is going to wake up and know that they're Israel, but they're going to find fault with the truth or something that's not going to go well with the ideologies that they already picked up, and they're not going to be able to do that because they're unlearned and they're unwilling to learn and take correction and reproof from the men of the Lord. They, especially a lot of Eve, because Eve is the one that got the huge problem with getting in order. Even some men got problems getting in order. Okay, I'm not putting all of it on Eve. Even you got some men out there. Okay, these false Israelite camps and these false set up camps, these Yahuwahlites, these Yeshualites and all that, they have a problem with getting in order, and they don't like to take reproof or listen to the men of the Lord that's set up on the highways and byways, and that's on the internet. They rather just go do their own thing, and that's going to cause them to either follow the truth, or then when the Lord brings judgment, it's going to cause them to have everlasting shame and contempt. Okay, so this is some of the sifting. Now let's get some more. Let's get some more. Salakia. What do I want next? Let me see here. Okay, so this is the book of Jeremiah 23 and 21, and it reads, "I have not sent these prophets, yet they ran. I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied." There you go, man. So we have a lot of false leaders. We have a lot of people who come into the truth to just make money out of it, sell merchandise, and just benefit off the truth, man. And you have a lot of false prophets that come in and just they spew their own nonsense. Okay, they don't believe the truth as a whole. They believe some of the truth, but not as a whole. So they come in the truth, okay, and they take what they want to believe and what they know is the truth, and they mix it in with a bunch of BS. And the Lord ain't set these men up. The Lord didn't set these people up, these Yahuwahlites, these Yeshualites and all that, okay, because they look at the men of the Lord as if we're the ones that's lying and not bringing out the truth, when like they here it is, they found out through the men of the Lord that they are Israel, but now since it don't fit, since the whole truth they can't get with all of it, they want to add their own little madness spin narrative to it, okay? And the Lord didn't send these people, man. And they pushed it out. They pushed that narrative out and bring that out, and they got judgment to pay for that. They got judgment to come for that, okay? No. And the Lord did not set these people up. No. Let's get this. Let me go here. Is this what yeah. Let me go here. Let me grab that. This is the book of Matthew 15 and 8, and it reads, "This people draw nigh unto me with their mouth and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me." So there you go, man. A lot. Now that this can be definitely, given to the wacky tackies. Okay, but this could also go into the wicked ass Israelites that know that they're Israelites, and they just, they always talk about the law, statutes, and commandments, the law. But we all know in this captivity we can't keep all the law. Okay, it's a rehearsal of the righteous acts, because we know there's no way we can possibly keep all the laws, man, because they get so tedious, they get so strategic and tedious with some things. There's just no way we can keep it, all of it, on his side. So it's a rehearsal of the righteous acts, okay? We can't fully keep it. This is why the Lord made the ultimate sacrifice for us, the Messiah, okay, and was the ultimate lamb sacrifice for us, okay, for the things that we could not keep, okay? Not to say the law is done away with, because we know it's not, but we know we can't keep it all either. So this is why a lot of people's hearts be far from them, because they be out there lying, talking about when they keeping all the laws, which is just impossible. And then that's just one example out of hundreds, okay? On camera, they love the Lord, but then, behind the scenes, they ain't doing anything to please them, okay? Let me grab this in closing. This is the book of Matthew 7 and 16, and it reads, "You shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Yeah, so you should know them by their fruits, man. If they're not doing anything fruitful for the Lord, the Lord ain't dealing with them. So I'm going to close this one down and give all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Hey, shalom to the next one. Shalom.